Hi, my name is Michael Sahno. I'm Jewish and I love Israel. So if you love Israel, if you love being Jewish, or if you have an unwavering connection to the land of Israel, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the 12 Cities in Israel podcast. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Hey, what's going on? My name is Michael Sahno. Welcome to the 12 Cities in Israel podcast. Hey, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm back. I'm totally back. Here we are in my brand new studio. I've got my, of course, coffee. Peter Madeira, this is for you. I haven't seen you in a while. You probably haven't seen me in a while. There you go. Nice little sip. I have a new thing going on here. I have a monitor over here. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see me, and you can see the whole setup. I encourage you to go over to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe and the like button, so that you can get brand new episodes as they come out. So this is it. So I got back. So let's dive right into this. I got back, and I was in Israel in February. I was doing a bunch of interviews. I did 18 interviews of a bunch of amazing people from all over the spectrum, left, right, religious, non-religious, religious, secular. And I lucked out. I was talking to a couple of the people that I interviewed, and one of them said that, hey, you really timed this perfectly, because with the COVID-19 thing, and I don't even really want to bring up COVID-19. I only need to bring it up to let you guys know that I lucked out. I was able to work the entire time through. I work in this studio. I work from home. God bless everyone who's lost a loved one or suffered through this. And I can be, oh, we've all suffered through this, but that's not true. A lot of us have suffered more. Not a lot. Well, I don't know. See, that's the thing. So, I'm not saying I don't know. I want to be careful. I don't want to get too sticky. I'm not conspiracy theorying or anything like that. What I'm saying is, there are a lot of people who got sick. Some of them got sick with COVID-19. Some of them got sick, and we don't know if they got sick with COVID-19. And bottom line, I feel for every single one of you, and I hope every single one of you can get to a place where everything is good in your lives. And that's my little spiel on COVID-19. But what I was able to do is, since I went in February, and I actually have kind of a funny story about this. I got there, when was it? I got there in the beginning of February. I think I got there February 9th, and I flew in and I went to the Sea Executive Suites. What up? Those guys are awesome. It is a block away from the consulate in Tel Aviv. And it is right on the beach. It's amazing. I had the business suite. I had all of these amazing people, academics. Amit Sagi, who is part of this group, this band called Hatikva Shesh, which is a reggae pop band. But he is also a producer and does like deep roots reggae and stuff like that. I got to sit. He's kind of like an idol of mine, so I got to sit with him. Who else did I get to sit with? Lila Perlman, the one of the heads of the Ben Gurion University International Program, which is what is it? It's a overseas student academic overseas program for college students at Ben Gurion University. Phenomenal. I got to interview my brother, my achi, my best friend, Moti Biton, and my other brother, Achi, and my other best friend, because you can have more than one best friend, Yossi Hertz. What up, Yossi? And Moti and all of your family. It was fabulous. So Moti I didn't interview in the hotel. I actually interviewed him back in Beersheba because as soon as I got done, I did all this in like 2 weeks. Wham, boom, everything. And I have to give a shout out to Neviot Water, who provided all the beverages. You guys are awesome. And the Sea Executive Hotel just went out of its way to be gracious. And if you stay in Tel Aviv, stay at the Sea Executive. It's worth every penny, every shekel. So as soon as I got done, my friend Moti drove up from Beersheba to pick me up. So as we're driving down, and it's funny because I normally go in the summer. I normally go when it's just totally, I have a hiccup, excuse me. I normally go when it's totally crazy hot. So everything tends to be on the brownish, on the brownish side. So I came in February. February has a lot of precipitation. You know, February in the U.S., we get snow, freezing rain, but they get a lot of rain. They get a ton of rain. And I have never seen the greens in the drive down these beautiful, expansive highways. It was just, I don't even know how to describe it. I have pictures. What I should do is I should throw a bunch of them on Instagram. I took a month off and I'm back up on Instagram again. But we were driving down and this beautiful, amazing drive. He drove through this kibbutz because he had to get his trailer. He had to get some parts for his or pick up his trailer. He had to pick up his trailer. And because he's the maintenance manager for Gimel dorms at Ben Gurion University, and we became just immediate diehard friends. And we on the way back, he goes, "So you heard we got it?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What did we get?" In Beersheba, we got COVID, and I went, "What?" And he goes, he's grinning from ear to ear. He's so happy. I don't know why, but he's grinning from ear to ear. Yeah, we got it. And so I'm in February in Israel. COVID hasn't really exploded across the country, across the world yet, publicly at least. And I'm there in one of the places where COVID first started. And apparently he told me that there was a group of visiting, and you can't make this up. There was a group of visiting Korean Christians who were going to the Christian holy sites in Israel, and they had brought it. It had come over from China, went to Korea, and they had brought it. So I hope all of them are all right. I hope all of them are safe. And thank you so much for giving such a wonderful gift to Israel. Are you serious? Come on, guys. They didn't know, though. They couldn't know, right? I guess. I don't know. So I wound up spending, I went for 3 weeks. I went for 2 weeks to do my interviews. And I highly recommend you guys go and check out the Israel interviews. You can check them out on YouTube, where if you're watching this on YouTube, you can check it out through the channel. YouTube, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify. All of them are up there. And there's some... I talked to... who did I talk to? General Doron Almog. Who was one of the people who first, he was the first guy off the plane at Entebbe, to save the hostages in Entebbe, during that raid. He now works, for a special needs organization called Ale, and he runs a special needs village in the South. An amazing story about him and the journey he took with his son, who was severely autistic. Just phenomenal. I'm blown away by the opportunity that I got, and you guys should really also take the opportunity to see these people's stories. Let's see, what do we got here? That's what's that's what's pretty much happened over the entire lockdown. Pretty much, I've been working, and Molly Livingstone, who was also one of the interviewers, she's the one who said, "Wow, you really lucked out. You came here at the perfect time." Because I don't know. She's awesome. She's hilarious. You got to check out that interview too. But she said you came at the perfect time because I wound up getting all of these interviews and working on all of these interviews like every week, releasing something. And I don't know. I guess I had planned on in the beginning of July, maybe coming. Originally, what the plan was in the beginning of July to just fly back, set up a bunch more interviews, fly back and do them. But that, of course, did not work out. And I thought about doing Zoom. And I guess I could still do it. I will tell you, though, and I'm curious. Hold on. I want to take a sip of coffee real quick. And I'm curious if anyone else who's ever done interviews, there's a magic that happens when two people get in the same room, get headphones on, and get in front of these microphones. And so I had this one woman, she was from an insurance company. Okay. And she came on to talk about healthcare in Israel, which is amazing. It's a beautiful model. Yeah, it's got flaws, but what doesn't? But she was terrified. She was terrified to come and sit in front of the cameras. And I said, listen, wait. As soon as you get these headphones on and you hear your voice through this microphone in your earphones, in the headphones, it's a bubble. A bubble is created. This world is generated where just the individuals on the microphones and headphones, just the individuals who can be heard through this soundboard exist. And it's a magical place, and it's actually one of the reasons why I love doing what I do, because nothing exists outside of this. And so much truth occurs within this bubble. It's funny because it's almost the opposite of the media bubble. So let's talk about, and regardless of right or left, your right, your left. There's obviously a media bubble, meaning certain stations, networks, whatever, they have their own voice and they have their own narrative, and that's maintained through what they do. The nice thing about this, and the nice thing about podcasting, and what I would say is really the old broadcasting even, is that once that engagement occurs, there's nothing like it, because there's nowhere to run. You made the statement, it's in the bubble, there's nowhere for it to go, so it's got to be addressed. You can't just, like on television where they make a statement and they speak over you and then they cut to commercial, or they cut, the segment or whatever. And in this environment, there's kind of this sounds so goofy. There's a purity to it. But whatever, there really is. And you're really going to see what I'm talking about, because if you go and you check some of these podcasts, not just mine, but any of them, some of the questions that are brought up and the repercussions in social media afterwards are really great. So I don't know where I'm going with this. Where am I going with this? What was I bringing this up for? I can't remember. But anyway, so I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be doing this again. For just to let you guys know, like I said, July happened, and July came and went, and that was the end of my interviews. And then I want to say I took a break, but I never really took a break. So 12 Cities in Israel is, I like to call it a multimedia project. I'm moving on to a new topic. And this multimedia project is, and it's funny because Miriam Strauss, who, shout out Miriam and her sister Charlotte. Miriam really kind of defined what I do, because for a while I defined it by the action of what I do. And that is, sitting here, podcasting, filming, doing all kinds of stuff in the media world. But she said, no, what you're doing is cultural. So you address a cultural aspect of Jewish and Israeli life. I'm a window into Jewish and Israeli culture. There are a number of them. Mine is just from my perspective. I don't pass judgment. I just give you what I've learned. I try to be objective as possible. But what's interesting is one of the ways, in order to become culturally cohesive, I don't even know if that's a phrase, but if it is, I just came up with it. I got dibs. One of the ways to cohesive, I really like this cohesive. One of the ways to cohesively get, envelop yourself in Israeli and Jewish culture is through Hebrew. I've tried a bunch of different ways to do that. Some of them, none of them were unsuccessful, but none of them were really, interesting to me. So what I did is, as soon as the interviews ran out, I came up with an idea for an Israeli Hebrew flashcard system. One of the things that I found in my journey to try to learn Hebrew was, and this is really kind of fascinating. So there are approximately 500 words that are needed by human beings in just about every language, because there are some exceptions. But there are 500 words that, if you know these 500 words in the context that they're used in, you will be able to communicate effectively. So first off, I went and found that list in English. And then I went and translated that list into Hebrew, and I'm still kind of in the process of kind of honing in on because some of them that you learn in Ulpan are just not even contextually correct anymore, and are no longer used. So I'm working with a couple of people from Ben Gurion University. I'm also working with my former professor, who will always be my professor, Shani Greenstein, Professor Shani Greenstein from City College in New York. And I'm working with them to develop, originally what I was doing was I was just going to come up with this flashcard set. Another hiccup, sorry. Come up with this flashcard set of 500 words that, if you learned in Hebrew, you'd be able to effectively communicate. No sentence structures, there were some phrases in there and stuff like that. And I got the pricing, and we're going to do a video for Kickstarter. So but I'll talk about that at the end. So, I started getting all this ready. I got a printer, Print Ninja. Shout out, you guys. If you need any printing done, please go to Print Ninja. The other thing, so I got this list together, and I started working on a brochure, and I started working on words. And one of the first things I realized was, crap. Okay. So some of the words are written in Hebrew. So someone's going to, if they buy my card set of 500 words, what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to go buy a set of Hebrew alphabet cards to learn the Hebrew alphabet, which is called the Aleph Bet. So I was like, darn, what am I going to do? I know, I'll just come up with an Aleph Bet set. And we came up with it. It's done. I'm getting ready to do a Kickstarter video, which will outline the entire plan. We set up an Instagram page, which is right up there on the board. It's 12 Cities Hebrew. I think that's it, right? Yeah, 12 Cities Hebrew. And it is our take on a Hebrew flashcard system that will, I'm not going to say it's going to make you fluent, but you will be well on the path to fluency. Because we have the Aleph Bet, which I told you about, which was made as a result of the 500 must-know Hebrew words. We're also coming out with a 200 verb flashcard set. We're also coming out with, hold on, I got more. We're also coming out with a 500 things, 500 nouns, but we're going to call it things just because that's more fun. I don't know. And we're also going to come up with a numbers flashcard set. So that's Aleph Bet, 500 must, 200 verbs, 500 things. Hold on. What were the other ones? Numbers, and I think there's another one. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'll probably do an entire podcast talking about it. But I just wanted to touch on it real quick. And eventually, this is part of the Kickstarter campaign. It's also going to be what do you call it? It's going to be an app. We're going to turn it into an app. And the way I figure it is the Aleph Bet set will be, not the app, the hard copy version, I guess. The flashcard set for Aleph Bet will be $14.99, and all of the other sets will be $29.99 because we got to get these printed. They're really professionally made. They're professionally laid out. A lot of work, academic work, went into these. So they are definitely worth the price. You are getting something that is top-notch, top quality. And then once you buy that and we get the app up and running, because we also want to get funding for the app, if you buy the hard copy, you will get access. You'll get an access code that you can email us, and we'll give you a download link for the app. I got to put some of this up on the website because I think it's going to be real. I think it's going to be... Nobody's doing anything like this. Anything like what we're doing. This is super-duper bombshell stuff. And I'm really psyched to be a part of this because, I don't know, just teaching people about Israel, and as much as I love Hebrew, it's really amazing. And basically that's what I've been doing. I took a break, but it really wasn't a break. I did take about 2 weeks, but that was my break. My break was working, grinding, doing what I need to do in order to make 12 cities in Israel the best that it can be. For the Michael Jordan of countries, Israel. Yes, I said that. So, speaking of Michael Jordan, he is not coming on the show. But I watched the Michael Jordan documentary on Netflix, which is why I, came up with the phrase, Israel, the Michael Jordan of countries. It wants to be the best, it tries to be the best, and it is the best. So, this is what I've been doing also with my COVID-19 home time, and that is I watched that documentary, and we bought a backboard and we put it up on the barn in our backyard. We have a barn. We have a nice big backyard, and been, as my brother says, I've got hoop dreams. So we've been having a blast. I've been hitting the 3-pointers. I am killing it. But it's a lot of fun. I've also been on my bike. I have this Techno Gym spin bike. So anyone, if you ever get an opportunity to get a spin bike, get one. I'm on it for 45 minutes a day. It is a blast. I live for it. And it's how we get through this and maintain our mental health. Yeah, so basically, this is just pretty much updates on what's going on. Let me take another sip of coffee. Hold on. I We redid the studio, as you know. It's in my office. It actually works out a lot easier. It makes things it just makes workflow like boom, boom, boom. I want to give a bunch of shout outs to a bunch of people. Miriam, Charlotte, Strauss, you guys are awesome. My wife, my son, Stephanie and Robert, mom, dad, Danny, Allison, all of you guys. Who else? Moti Biton and your entire family. Love you guys. Iris, I miss your cooking. And who else? All the staff at the C Executive Suites. There is this shawarma place around the corner, and it is out of control. There's another place, I think it's called Stephanie's, which I don't know how much schnitzel I ate at that place, but oh my gosh. Wow. I also want to give a shout out to Ruma, a wonderful friend. I want to give a shout out to Nili Caine, who is just my sister in so many ways. Lila Perlman, who is my sister in so many ways. Who else? I'm trying to think. I have so many people, the entire city of Beersheba. And I think that's pretty much going to be it for now. I will see you again next week. I want to start off light. Yeah. All right. Check us out on, you can find this wow, that's a mumble. So yeah, I haven't wrapped this up in a while. You can, you can find us on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Spotify, and download the podcast for the audio version. Also, check us out on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, thanks a lot. Toda raba, להתראות ויאללה ביי.
בכל זאת לבדה, אין אחד שבא אליה לבקש את ידה, ובתסוגר עליה בליבה חתום, נעול, סגור, שבור. לחישה בלילה והיא איננה, גם שרחוקה היא ממני, זיכרונה עולה שוב בליבי הלילה, איך אותה רציתי כל חיי, ידי בידה ולאור ירח עוד יאיר לי כוכב, רק זאת ביקשתי בידה